There's an invisible health condition that mostly affects young women. Then, after COVID hit, the number of women suffering from debilitating symptoms went up fivefold.
Yet still, many are told it's all in their heads. And tonight's special medical report, Meg Farah's got answers to what's really happening.
At only 32, Nikki Wiggins is living her ideal career as a registered nurse.
When I was younger, I realized that helping people was a passion for me. It just drove me. It made me feel like that was my life's purpose.
A few years ago, on her dream path to oncology research, something unexplainable knocked her off of her feet. After months of fatigue and feeling just off, she was in a meeting at work.
All of a sudden, I felt panicked, like just extreme panic. I couldn't focus on anything. I was looking at my coworker like, something's wrong, you know.
Shaking and nearly passing out, her leg went numb.
Then that months and months of just essentially torture after that.
What followed was a long quest for answers, exams by several types of physician specialists, and trips to the ER.
They were like, we can't find anything wrong in any of your blood tests. We don't know, you know, it might just be anxiety. So I did go see a psychiatrist, tried that, actually got worse.
Then a neurologist finally had a diagnosis, followed by a cardiologist who did the tilt table test, checking blood pressure changes from lying down to standing up. That confirmed it, POTS.
I felt relieved, right, that they found something wrong, like, okay. But also there's no FDA-approved medication for POTS. There's no cure. It's a chronic illness that I may have to live with forever.
That is called POTS, which stands for postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome.
Preventive cardiologist and internal medicine physician Dr. Umesh Patel is seeing a surge in POTS. Young women from all over the U.S. reach out to his clinic in Covington after being told your medical tests are normal and it's all in your mind.
Number one, you are not crazy. That's what I tell all my new patients, and that you need to know before you leave that I believe every one of them.
To understand POTS, let's first look at the autonomic nervous system. Think of the autonomic system like cruise control that runs your entire body, from your head all the way down to your toes. One part is the brake and the other part is the accelerator that keeps all your systems in balance. Dysautonomia is when that system is off, so all the involuntary bodily functions that it controls are off, like heart rate, blood pressure, respiration, digestion, sweating, shivering, tears, saliva, blood flow to the brain, and the fight or flight response to a perceived threat.
And it destroyed their family. Sometimes they had their work life. And moreover, it just creates terrible depression. And after the COVID pandemic, we saw an absolute flurry of patients who were unable to get out of bed, they were weak, they had brain fog, they couldn't do their normal chores, they had to abandon careers.
Absolutely. I think the COVID virus and also this concept of long COVID that is still probably very controversial, but in my opinion, I think it very much exists, has caused this to emerge. Not only this arrhythmia, but also other arrhythmias.
Just like Dr. Patel, Tulane's Dr. Swathi Rao, a cardiac electrophysiologist at East Jefferson, is seeing a surge as well in women. There's some thought that the women may have had mild, even unnoticed dysautonomia before, but symptoms were made worse by viruses like COVID, mononucleosis, Epstein-Barr, and Lyme disease. Nikki had COVID 3 times and noticed her symptoms got worse. To add to that, the autonomic system is very sensitive to hormones.
What am I doing?
So as female hormones fluctuate with monthly cycles or later around menopause, severity of symptoms does too.
There isn't a magical pill or a magic procedure that's going to kind of get rid of it. It's going to be, we kind of hit it from multiple different angles.
So here's what the doctors recommend. Take in more fluids with electrolytes and more salt. Wear light compression garments, especially around the abdomen, hips, and thighs to help blood flow. Add in exercise. Take regular magnesium glycinate and vitamin D supplements. And there are many prescription medications that affect blood pressure, heart, and fluid regulation.
Do you need me to make you a dietitian referral? We can make you one for free.
Some of these methods are helping Nikki. She's back working, but from her home as a patient care manager. And as a nurse living through this, she wants others to know they are not alone.
I feel like I really got to show up for the dysautonomia community. And we need more providers that can treat people like me. We need medication that's made for people like me.
Meg Farris, WWL, Louisiana.
We have a list of multiple resources for people with POTS on this story at WWLTV.com. We also have a list of those prescription drugs that are recommended.